biggie. I better close the door. Let's get the washers on. A video on making some, hopefully, Flapjack Tuiles. So I've made a Flapjack recipe. I haven't baked it yet because we're going to roll it out flat. So it is 125 grams worth of oats, 75 grams worth of soft brown sugar, 75 grams worth of butter, and 50 grams worth of golden syrup. Melted the wet ingredients, then poured in the oats. They're not wet ingredients. Let's say that properly. So melted the butter, the sugar, and the golden syrup, and then poured in the oats. So it's still hot, so it's still moldable. So I want to get it on some baking parchment, roll it out flat, and then we're going to bake it in the oven, and then we're going to see if we can form it over something to make some tuiles. Either round tuiles, so like cylinder tuiles, like a cannoli, or just lay it over in half. I haven't decided which we'll be able to kind of do. I don't know if it will work. I think it will. I've cut them into, I've rolled it out thin and cut them into biscuits before. That worked. That worked. So I can't see why we can't, if we're quick enough, form it into, I need to get a rough square shape, if we can't form them into other shapes. Because I don't always want a big, thick flapjack. Now, I'm under no delusion that this won't have been done before. Or it might have been done a long time ago, but I haven't seen it. I might have seen a picture of it somewhere in the past, and that's why I've got the idea. I can't imagine I'm doing anything new. Although, listening to a scientist today, he said that there are new ideas. When you kind of say there's nothing new under the sun, there is. There are new ideas all the time. So I want it relatively thin. Probably should have got a bigger bit of baking parchment, but I'm frugal. Oh, this might work. This might work. Probably needs to be a bit thinner actually. You can always squeeze out the other side, can't it? Oh, I know what we can do. Oh, we'll just cut it off. It'll be fine. So we don't want a thick tuile. We want to be able to crunch through it. So if it spreads out both sides, I suppose what we could have done is we could have put some coins down, and then it would have got to a uniform kind of shape. But that looks thin enough. That looks thin enough. Unfortunately now, that's going to want to come off there, isn't it? Where's the pastry knife? So we'll just neaten up that edge like that. Neaten up that edge, and next time we do it, we won't be so tight with the baking parchment. Although it's probably better that we neaten it up. Right, so I need to transfer that onto baking tray. Hang on. Right, baking tray. Slide it underneath like that. This can be a bit of a problem, isn't it? Although I don't know. I might be able to. That's holding together relatively easy, isn't it? I don't think we'll be able to roll it out again. So, I thought this would be a short video since I already had a flapjack recipe ready, but no. Me faffing around as always. So take that off because I don't want it, if it's on the side of the tray, it will want to roll down, which I don't want to happen. I think this is going to work. I don't want it to roll down onto the tray. So I just need to whip off that bit there. There probably would have been a better way of doing this. Right, so I think this will work. I think it's only going to have to be in the oven for a short amount of time. I was going to eat that bit then. Right, so yeah, so if that had been up the side of the tray, because it's got an edge there, it would have sunk down and become bulbous, which is not what I wanted. It looks quite even. Right, so in the oven, 180 degrees for, I reckon, 10 minutes. I'll eat that bit. Right, so it's had 10-12 minutes. It's cooked. It's still soft. So too soft to kind of move it. So we need to catch it on the edge of, it's going to fall to bits if we pick it up, as opposed to too hard that we won't be able to shape it. So I'll leave it, if we leave it on the tray, it'll keep it warm. If we take it off the tray, it will cool it down quicker, but it means we'll have to work quicker. So I'm just going to leave it on the tray and we'll keep moving things around until we get to a stage where we can shape things. I think let's just cut a couple of shapes out of it in a circle, and then we can do like tuiles. So no, it's probably not as sharp. Probably needs to be sharper than that. It's a load of rubbish, really. Probably better off using a knife. But we'll see. So we'll use those as tuiles. Probably just easier to cut while it's soft. They might be a bit ragged, but we'll just cope with that. Cross that bridge when we get to it, and then maybe it's better to cut into these now. They're going to be. They're probably not going to be. I'm just thinking. That's all. Just thinking out loud. So if we go like that. Like that, and like that. And you can see how it's wanting to fall to bits, so we need to catch it. So it'll firm up as it cools, and then we want. I'm just going to think of what. I've got a tube which I'm going to use, which is slightly oiled. I just need to make sure they're the right size. The also danger is as well that it's not going to want to stay stuck together. Anyway, so let that cool a little bit more, and we're back when we're going to form it around something. Right, I think we'll have to be quick. So, turn that off. And hopefully, we'll set. Could have probably rolled them out a bit thinner. We can always do that on the low one. You see, that's just gone too far. It's cooled down too much. So that's the danger. So that's going to happen. That first one worked, but that one's gone too far. How about this one might do it. But the only danger is that you can't. We might be able to stick them together. No, that wants to fall off. Don't think we'll be able to get them to be like cannolis. Certainly not in any kind of en masse, because they want to split. See, like that, that's split, so that's no good. Roll that a bit thinner. No, I think they've gone a bit too far. Don't think rolling them that thinner would make a difference. No, they just don't think it's going to work. Don't think it's going to work. That might work, but they're just going to I suppose we could have another go and do like a brandy snap kind of recipe, but put oats in instead. But we'll see how those kind of set, but I think it's too. The only problem is that by the time it's cool enough to be malleable, well, to kind of cool enough that it's still malleable, it's kind of almost on the edge of too cold to actually stick to anything, so that the window of opportunity is too small to form them. Let's see if that one dries out. Right. So I warmed them up, put them back through the oven, and they don't kind of work. I think maybe if we made a ground oat flour, then it might kind of do that, but I want the whole oats in it. But anyway, well, that's kind of worked. That's holding its shape for now. I don't know if it'll hold its shape for any longer, but see, that's kind of hold its shape a little bit, but we get that crack that you can see the hole all the way through it, which is no good. So it was a nice idea, but I don't think that particular idea is going to work. However, they do make nice oaty biscuits. So if you want to make some relatively simple oaty biscuits, that recipe works. A flapjack recipe works if you want to roll them out flat, bake them flat, and you get these crunchy oaty biscuits like that. There we go. From that point of view, it looks fab.